welcome back to another episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update, our series that keeps you updated with our ever-changing industry. For those of you that have been watching this series for a while now, you know how this goes, but for those of you that are new, welcome. We'll be covering the latest in manufacturing, packaging, coding, sustainability, and much more. I'm your host, Alexa, and today we'll discuss topics ranging from RFK Jr.'s plan to phase out artificial food dyes from the U.S. food supply, to how small businesses are grappling with the impact of rising import costs from China. We'll also dive into how U.S. consumer confidence has plummeted amid ongoing trade tensions, and examine how inflation is cooling. Yet Americans are stepping up spending in anticipation of tariff impacts. And finally, we'll look at how funding cuts are threatening to deepen the hunger crisis as more families rely on food banks due to rising living costs. So, starting off. In a bold move signaling a shift towards cleaner food standards, U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has announced a plan to phase out 8 artificial dyes from the nation's food supply by 2026. The initiative targets widely used synthetic colorants believed to pose health risks, especially to children, and aligns with growing public demand for natural, transparent ingredients. Though not yet formalized by regulatory decree, Kennedy claims there's already a shared understanding in place with major food manufacturers to begin this transition voluntarily. At the heart of the initiative is a focus on eliminating specific artificial dyes such as citrus red number 2, orange B, and red number 3, some of which have already been banned and restricted in other countries due to potential health concerns. To support this transition, the FDA is accelerating approval of plant-based alternatives. These include ingredients like calcium phosphate, Gaultheria extract blue, gardenia blue, and butterfly pea flower extract. Food manufacturers appear to be taking the message seriously. PepsiCo, for instance, has committed to removing all artificial ingredients from its products by the end of 2025. CEO Ramon Lahuerta shared that over 60% of their current portfolio is already free of artificial coloring. Popular brands such as Lay's and Tostitos are expected to be fully reformulated by the year's end. Despite Kennedy's confident announcement, not all stakeholders agree on the current status of the plan. Industry leaders have publicly denied any formal agreement with the administration. Experts, including registered dietitian Dr. Jessica Nurick, emphasize that no official regulatory ban has been enacted, describing the current momentum as more aspirational than enforceable. Economic considerations also pose significant hurdles. Replacing synthetic dyes with natural alternatives could raise manufacturing costs by up to 10%. These costs may be passed on to consumers, with estimates suggesting U.S. households could face an additional $5,000 to $9,000 in expenses as a result. From a technical perspective, the shift may also affect product quality. Natural dyes tend to produce less vibrant colors and can result in inconsistencies across batches. This could challenge manufacturers to maintain the visual appeal and shelf stability that consumers expect from processed foods. While artificial dyes are currently deemed safe by regulatory bodies like the FDA, they offer no nutritional benefit and are commonly used in processed foods, often those marketed to children. Health advocates argue that reducing synthetic dyes use could discourage the consumption of nutrient-poor foods and improve overall dietary habits. This move also reflects a larger industry trend, with consumers increasingly prioritizing ingredient transparency and cleaner labels. The food sector is pivoting toward more natural formulations. If Kennedy's vision takes hold, the U.S. could see a significant regulatory and cultural shift in how food is manufactured and marketed. The FDA's ongoing review of food additive safety, including its recent moves to revoke certain dye authorizations, may indicate that this initiative is only the beginning of broader changes on the horizon. Whether through regulatory mandates or voluntary compliance, the push to phase out artificial food dyes marks a pivotal moment for the American food industry, one where public health, consumer demand, and corporate accountability are converging in real time. In early April of 2025, the Trump administration implemented a significant increase in tariffs on goods imported from China, raising rates to 145%. This abrupt policy shift has placed immense pressure on small businesses across the United States that rely heavily on Chinese imports. With limited resources and tight profit margins, these businesses are grappling with disrupted supply chains, escalating costs, and an uncertain future. Take WS Game Co. for instance. This Massachusetts-based family-owned company specializes in deluxe versions of Hasbro board games. All production is conducted in China. Recently, 3 containers of finished games valued at $500,000 have been stranded overseas. Additionally, the company lost $16 million in orders from major U.S. retailers. Owner Jonathan Silva expressed concerns about the company's viability, stating they have approximately 4 months to stay afloat if conditions don't improve. House, a home decor company in Lexington, Kentucky, House specializes in artificial flower arrangements with about 90% of its inventory sourced from China. Co-owner Jeremy Rice noted that the tariffs have led to significant price increases, making it challenging to maintain inventory levels and meet customer demand. Tea House, located in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Tea House imports a variety of teas, many of which are sourced from China. Owner Lisa McDonald highlighted the difficulties in finding alternative suppliers and the increased costs associated with the tariffs, which are impacting the store's operations and profitability. Small businesses often lack the financial and logistical capacity to quickly shift from their supply chain away from established Chinese partners. This inflexibility exacerbates the impact of sudden policy changes like the recent tariff hikes. The elevated tariffs have led to higher costs for imported goods, squeezing already thin profit margins and forcing some businesses to consider raising prices, reducing staff, or even closing operation. The unpredictability of trade policies creates a challenging environment for small business owners, making it difficult to plan for the future, securing financing, or making informed operational decisions. The plight of these small businesses underscores the broader economic implications. The plight of these small businesses underscores the broader economic implications of abrupt trade policy shifts. While the intention behind the tariffs may be to bolster domestic manufacturing, the immediate effect has been to disrupt existing supply chains and place undue strain on small enterprises. Without targeted support or clear guidance, many of these businesses face an uncertain future, potentially leading to job losses, reduced consumer choice, and negative ripple effects throughout the economy. The experiences of WS Game Co., House, and Tea House illustrate the tangible challenges small businesses face amid escalating trade tensions. As policymakers navigate the complexities of international trade, it's crucial to consider the downstream effects on these vital components of the U.S. economy and to implement measures to support their resilience and adaptability in an ever-changing global landscape. Moving on, in April of 2025, U.S. consumer confidence experienced a significant decline, reaching levels not seen since the early months of the COVID-19 pandemic. This downturn is largely attributed to escalating concerns over the economic impact of President Donald Trump's widespread tariffs on imported goods, particularly from China. The resulting trade tensions have heightened fears of inflation, job losses, and a potential recession, leading consumers to reassess their financial outlooks and spending behaviors. The conference board reported that its consumer confidence index fell by 7.9 points in April, dropping to 86, the lowest reading since May of 2020. A measure of American short-term expectations for income, business conditions, and the job market decreased by 12.5 points to 54.4, marking the lowest level in over 13 years. Nearly one-third of consumers anticipate a slowdown in hiring in the coming months, a sentiment reminiscent of the levels seen during the Great Recession in April of 2009. The decline in confidence was most pronounced among households earning more than $125,000 annually and individuals aged 35 to 55, indicating that economic apprehensions are affecting a broader spectrum of the population. Economists warn that declining consumer confidence can lead to reduced spending, which in turn may slow economic growth. Carl Weinberg, chief economist at High Frequency Economics, noted, "Rattled consumers spend less than confident consumers. If confidence sags and consumers retrench, growth will go down." Sharp fluctuation in stock and bond markets earlier in the month have contributed to the erosion of consumer confidence despite a recent rebound. Year to date, the S&P 500 is down 6%, the Dow Jones has lost 5%, and the Nasdaq has declined by 10%. Analysts are closely watching forthcoming government reports on economic growth and employment. Preliminary expectations suggest a slowdown in economic activity and potentially reduced hiring, which could further impact consumer sentiment. The sharp decline in consumer confidence underscores the broader economic uncertainty fueled by ongoing trade disputes and tariff implementations. As consumers become more cautious, reduced spending could lead to slower economic growth, creating a feedback loop that exacerbates financial anxieties. Businesses may respond by scaling back investments and hiring, further dampening economic prospects. Policymakers and economic stakeholders will need to monitor these trends closely and consider measures to stabilize consumer confidence, such as clear communication on trade policies and potential economic support mechanisms. The convergence of trade tensions, market volatility, and declining consumer confidence presents a complex challenge for the U.S. economy. Addressing these issues will require coordinated efforts to restore stability and reassure consumers, thereby fostering an environment conducive to sustained economic growth. Moving on, in April of 2025, U.S. inflation showed signs of cooling, providing a temporary reprieve for consumers. However, this relief is overshadowed by the looming impact of President Trump's sweeping tariffs on imported goods, particularly from China. These tariffs, which have raised import costs significantly, are prompting Americans to adjust their spending habits in anticipation of higher prices and potential shortages. The Consumer Price Index, known as the CPI, showed a modest increase, suggesting that inflationary pressures may be stabilizing. This has been welcomed by consumers, though the underlying causes of inflation remain a concern. In response to anticipated price hikes due to tariffs, many Americans are accelerating their purchases of imported goods. This preemptive buying is particularly evident in sectors relying on Chinese imports such as electronics, clothing, and household items. Retailers are adjusting to the shifting consumer behavior by increasing inventory levels and exploring alternative sourcing options. However, the effectiveness of these strategies is uncertain given the scale of the tariffs and the complexity of global supply chains. The tariffs have introduced significant disruptions in supply chains, leading to delays and increased costs. Businesses are facing challenges in sourcing materials and products, which could lead to shortages and further price increases. The unpredictability of trade policies is creating an environment of economic uncertainty. The uncertainty is affecting business investment decisions and consumer confidence, potentially slowing economic growth. In response to these challenges, some policymakers are advocating for measures to mitigate the impacts of these tariffs, such as targeted relief for affected industries and consumers. However, the political landscape remains contentious and the prospects for such measures are uncertain. While the cooling of inflation provides a temporary relief, the broader economic implications of the tariffs are significant. If the tariffs remain in place, they could lead to sustained higher prices for consumers, particularly in sectors heavily reliant on imports. Additionally, the strain on supply chains could affect product availability, leading to shortages and reduced consumer choice. The long-term economic impact will depend on several factors, including the duration of the tariffs, the ability of businesses to adapt their supply chains, and response of policymakers to emerging challenges. Continued monitoring of these developments will be essential to understanding the full scope of the tariffs' impacts on the U.S. economy. As Americans brace for the effects of the tariffs, the interplay between inflation, consumer behavior, and supply chain dynamics will shape the economic landscape in the coming months. The decisions made by businesses, consumers, and policymakers will play a crucial role in determining the resilience of the U.S. economy in the face of challenges. And we've made it to our final story. As of May 1st of 2025, food banks across the United States are facing unprecedented challenges. A combination of federal funding cuts and escalating living costs is exacerbating the hunger crisis, even as the labor market remains relatively stable. The Campaign Against Hunger in New York, for instance, recently lost over $1.3 million in grants, compelling it to reduce food distributions and limit nutritional options. Federal funding reductions: the U.S. Department of Agriculture, known as the USDA, halted $500 million in expected food deliveries and cut an additional $1 billion allocated for hunger relief programs supporting local producers. FEMA grant withdrawals: the Federal Emergency Management Agency rescinded grants intended for local governments and nonprofits, including the Campaign Against Hunger, to shelter and feed newly arrived non-citizen migrants. Increased demand amid rising costs: despite a stable labor market, food insecurity has risen by 1 million households compared to the previous year, with more working families now relying on food banks for sustenance. Operational strain: organizations like Feeding America and local partners such as Houston Food Bank and Mother Hubbard's Cupboard are experiencing massive shortfalls, leading to concerns that proposed cuts to Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, known as SNAP, benefits could devastate relief efforts. Rural vulnerability: rural communities already burdened by challenges such as tariffs, climate impacts, disease outbreaks, and immigration crackdowns rely heavily on SNAP for survival. The convergence of funding cuts, rising living costs, and increased demand is placing food banks under immense pressure. Without immediate intervention, these organizations may struggle to meet the growing needs of food insecure households. Experts warn that reduced federal support threatens to eliminate key sources of nutritious food, especially in rural areas, and amplify economic strain on already vulnerable populations, potentially causing lasting harm to national food security. The current crisis underscores the critical importance of sustained investment in hunger relief programs. As policymakers consider budgetary adjustments, it is imperative to prioritize the well being of the nation's most vulnerable populations to ensure that food insecurity does not become a permanent fixture in American society. This episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update is brought to you by our SNEED-JET Titan Tabletop Printer. Designed for efficient semi-automated coding, the Titan features a horizontal traversing print head that delivers prints up to half an inch in height. It's perfect for a smooth transition from manual to semi-automated processing requiring just one operator. Simply load a cartridge, upload your message, and position your product for quick, seamless printing. The Titan is equipped with versatile ink options including solvent-based and water-based inks, and supports a range of colors, making it ideal for printing on materials like aluminum cans, food packaging, plastic bottle caps, and more. Whether you're working with porous or non-porous substrates, the SNEED-JET Titan Tabletop Printer ensures your printing needs are met with precision and ease. Like always, stay tuned for our next episode of SNEED-CAST Industry Update. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell down below to stay up to date with all of our great content, and let us know what topics you'd like to see us talk about here on the show. We look forward to hearing from you all. Bye, everyone.